Welcome everyone to Bullion Bulls, where we focus on rule-based gold trading and order flow. Today we'll be breaking down New York session, identifying high probability setups for you guys, and using our structured approach. Remember, when we start our day, we have key levels to mark. So if we go to our daily, let's see how is daily looking. Okay, so we see the daily is actually inside the previous day candle. This tells me that right now price is is ranging. So also remember, today we have news coming out at what is it, Friday, right? So yeah, we have 8 a.m. job openings coming out. So it's really important that whenever there is big news coming out, you gotta wait. This is 8 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, which will be 10 a.m. Eastern. So we have to wait for the news to come out first, and then we will start our day. Other than that, let's go quickly to our volatility and see how volatile gold is during, like, which hours of the day gold is most volatile. We do this practice every single day when we start our live stream. Okay, so we see the current hour is the most volatile hour, okay, at 7 a.m. We're seeing an opportunity build up here, but we're not going to be taking this opportunity because remember, we have news coming out, so this is going to be a low probability setup. So I'm going to be staying clear of taking these setups right now. I'm just going to wait for a setup to form after the news, which is going to be 30. I'm going to be wait at least 15 minutes after the news to take any setups in the market. Like right now, we're just waiting. We're not doing anything. Okay, guys. So the structured approach I was talking about during my initial introduction. What do we have? Anyone who watches this channel regularly would know that we have the oscillator. So the oscillator helps us decide the bias for the day. So right now, if you look at the oscillator, we are bearish on the 30-minute. We are bullish on the 15-minute. We are bullish on 5-minute, and we're bullish on we're bearish on 1 minute. So you guys can see that it's a mix of it's a mixed day. On an ideal day, you want to see everything pointing towards a single direction. Next, we want to see our price structure. So we want to see price making higher highs and higher lows. You can clearly see that here the price was trending up, and now the price is starting to trend down. Even the signal that you see here is also an A+ sell signal. But since the news is coming out at 10 a.m. Eastern, we're gonna wait. So which is about in 27 minutes. It's a significant news event, so we would be waiting for price to give us a direction post news. So right now, volume is actually just, there is no clear direction within volume as well. We are seeing that the pressure is showing that we have, buyers dominating, but the market is showing us otherwise. So this is a contradiction between the two. So what we're going to do is we're just going to wait on the sidelines and wait for real volume to show up, which is going to potentially happen after the news, which is at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. Mountain Standard and 10 a.m. Eastern. So right now we are at 9:33 a.m. Eastern. So we're going to wait till 10 a.m. Eastern to potentially start our day. We're just going to wait for now. Overall, and as I mentioned earlier, we mark out the previous day highs and previous day lows. This tells us that, when the price potentially could be trending versus when it might not be trending. So here, if you guys look at, we have the previous day high and the previous day low, and current day's candle is inside the previous day high and the previous day low, which is the previous day's daily range, previous day's range, basically, right? So right now we're just gonna wait. We're not gonna be taking any trades. Yeah, the market is non-directional right now, even though you're seeing price going down. However, this is more of a, like, there's not a lot of volume behind this move. So I wouldn't advise anyone, taking trades prior to news events. It's really, really important that you guys, just hold on, wait for clear trends to establish, wait for your uh, wait for your setup. So in this case, setup is there, but volume is not there. So we're not going to be taking any trades. I would love to see this above 2 on the negative side. So remember, whenever we are negative, we are pink. Whenever we are positive, we are blue. So in this case, we are positive. So I'm looking to buy instead of going short. I'm going to be waiting for this to become negative 2. And that's when, potentially we would be looking for shorts and longs. Remember, with our trend master, with Bullion Bullz trend master indicator, what it does is it keeps you out of the markets when the markets are not trending, or like in terms of, it would actually reduce your urge to overtrade, because what it does is, like, it gives you opportunities as they come into the market, rather than, you know uh, you're trying to take every opportunity. So you're maximizing your chances of winning by ensuring that you only, step into the market when it's ideal, when, when the volume is there, when the structure is ideal, and, overall bias or sentiment, aligns with your trade signal. Remember, trade signals by themselves are insufficient. What you need is a narrative or a story behind the move, and if that story aligns with your overall strategy, that's when you would want to take those setups. Not every setup is going to be perfect. You are not guaranteed to make money all the time, but remember, in trading, it's all about probabilities. If you trade, let's say, 2 times per day, or take one trade per day, you are maximizing your chances of becoming profitable over the long run. Do let me know, guys, if you have any questions. Uh, right now, anyone who's joining, we're going to be actually waiting for our news event to come out at 10 a.m. Eastern, which is a significant news event. So one thing I advise you guys to make a habit of is, have this website, www.forexfactory.com. And just keep an eye on this particular website, because this website is going to help you guys understand the news events, or, it's going to keep you updated on the news events that, might impact the instrument that you trade. And normally red news events are high volatile days, so you want to keep an eye on those, and you don't want to be trading 30 minutes prior to this news event, and you only want to be trading, 15 minutes after the news events have dropped. And those are the only times you want to be looking for setups. Right now, you see, guys, the pressure is telling us that we don't have any side dominating, and that's why we're actually staying out of the market, even though practically we are seeing this signal pop up, right? So we're not taking any trades. We're just waiting for now. We're going to be waiting for the news to drop. Other than that, another thing that you guys want to keep a habit of, you guys can create a free account on this Financial Juice website. What this website does, it keeps you updated on potential breaking news events. So when you have breaking news events, you guys can, understand if, why the price is, having a sudden spike up or a spike down. And it mainly could be because of a news event that was dropped. Especially these days, when you have war going on between U.S. and Iran, U.S., Israel, and Iran, you want to be looking at the news, because news is having a significant impact on gold trading, or overall trading in general. So right now, we want to be we're going to be mindful, just wait for our setups to form, and then we will take the trade for the day. Remember, on this channel, it's all for entertainment and educational purposes. We're only trading demo money, so I don't advise anyone to copy trade us. Since we're not risking our own money, I don't advise you to risk your own money as well. Also, this is not a financial advice. Just this channel has been created to show you guys how you can use a simple rule-based approach, and it's showing you a different you know style of trading. Like, normally you would see discretionary traders marking out support and resistance. We do have those embedded in our system, but we have a mechanical system. The mechanical system finds the levels, you know, takes the liquidity sweeps, tracks the volume, and then based on those, it gives you different signals, right? A plus signals are mainly based on your sweeps. A signals are based on your structure. C signals are based on ensuring that you're getting signals during optimal market conditions, but those signals might not be accurate majority of the time. But then there are those structures that would play out as you will see these live streams. That those structures will have high probability of winning trades, or you'll have a high probability trade setup forming due to those price structures. So yeah, like, this is just to show you guys another way you guys can trade apart from discretionary trading. I always advise people or traders to do a personality test to see what kind of personality you have, and based on that personality type, you need to decide the trading style that fits with your personality. If you're an analytics kind of person, you like a lot more of a logical person, you want to be looking into taking a systematic approach. uh, this is what I did for myself, and that's where everything kind of just turned around for me, because the day I learned that I am more of an analytical person, uh, I started collecting data, and I just I just stick to one trading strategy, and the trading strategy that you see right in front of me is my strategy that I created myself, and it has made me a profitable trader. So anyone who's watching, I highly advise you guys to do a personality test to see you know uh, what kind of personality you have, and based on that, you decide what trading style fits your personality type, right? And what I'm a big advocate of is that I don't want you, I don't want to hold you, I don't want to, place a fish on your plate every day. I want you guys to go out and fish yourself. And what I'm doing here, I'm showing you guys an opportunity where we're able to take trade setups based on a mechanical system which gives you an edge in the market and enables you to get that fish for yourself. Like, start fishing for yourself instead of me placing a fish on your plate, right? So just take this as a learning opportunity. Trading requires a lot of dedication. You guys have to spend a lot of hours, and then eventually you will see things starting to work for you. There are multiple ways you guys can go about this. One way is, like me, you can actually go through trial and error and take courses and learn from other people, which I did as well. Like, I spent a lot of money on bots. I spent a lot of money on uh, courses, signals, uh, and there's only a handful of legitimate people in the industry who really would give you the opportunity to actually become profitable, right? So one thing is that you guys can go for your own journey, which is going to take you a lot of time and a lot of money that you're going to be spending on. You might have a lot of losses, a lot of failed challenges, a lot of blown accounts. Or another way is, you get a proven system, and then you just follow the set of rules, and you know, you stay disciplined, don't overtrade. You take a single trade, you take one trade per day, and once you take that one trade per day, no matter if it's a win or a loss, you call it a day, right? You don't go over trade. So this is exactly what we're teaching on this channel. The max trades we're gonna take on live stream is two. The first trade is gonna be depending on the setup type, right? Depending on the setup type, we're gonna have a risk allocated to that trade. And if let's say that trade is a loss, the first trade is a loss, we'll go for a second trade, which will actually be half the risk of the previous one. So whatever risk we took on the first one, we're gonna risk half of that on the second one. Okay. So this is a logical approach that I'm talking. This is the logical approach that I'm talking about. Support this channel. I'm going to be bringing in a lot of content for you guys. We will be bringing out, multiple opportunities for you guys to, really hone these skills, really learn about trading, really learn about, how you can utilize these trading setups for your own advantage, and, potentially build up small accounts or actually pass, prop challenges. It took me a while actually to start live streaming because I wanted to make sure the system is ready for individuals to see that how easy, like it's not easy, I won't say it's easy, but how logical sometimes trading is. You don't really have to be discretionary, because I see what a lot of people, like personally, when I look at a discretionary trader, I get confused. When I get confused, it's very hard to understand, why they're taking a trade. Certain levels will hold, other levels won't hold, sweeps will happen, things like that, right? But with our system, these setups have proven to work. If we do back testing, they work. If we do forward testing, they're working. So what we want to see is we want to see these setups perform well during live market conditions, because as you guys can see on a chart, you can see the signal, and the signal works, the A plus signal. However, it's news in 13 minutes. So we didn't take the trade because there is news. So whenever there is news, no matter what your strategy is, it's not going to work, because markets are behaving differently. They're in a liquidity hunt phase. Like they're trying to stop you out. Like look at this. Like for example, let's say we took a trade here. We had change of character here. Price came out, swept out everyone who tried to take an entry here, and now potentially price would just go back down. Like who knows, right? So that's why we don't take these trade setups. We wait for our trade setups to form. Number one, we wait for the bias to establish. A lot of the times, market might not be ideal where bias doesn't, establish clearly. For example, here today, we can go to 30-minute and we see, okay, it's bearish, 15-minute is bullish, 5-minute is bullish, 1-minute is bearish. So it's mixed, right? So in such a condition, we are actually going to go with higher time frame bias, but what overrides such a bias is our pressure indicator here, like our trend master indicator. What it does is it tells you where the buyers are dominating in the market, which side the buyers are on, right? And that's when you would see, okay, right now it's above 2, so we are looking for buy direction. Even though our bias is not pointing clearly towards one direction, and it's mismatched between 30 minutes and what you see on the pressure side. So what we're doing here is we're taking advantage of current volume, which is not a lagging indicator. Remember, everything else is lagging, whereas number of buyers and number of sellers in the market is non-lagging. So you're making your decision based on a non-lagging indicator, right? It's a non-lagging indicator. So, and this indicator helps you assess, okay, is the market going to be bullish or bearish? So right now, as you see here, market is bullish. Does the market structure look bullish to you guys, right? So let's see if we have a bullish market structure forming right now. We do see we have higher highs and higher lows on a higher term, right? So like this structure, if you look at it, this structure is bullish, okay? So structure is bullish, volume is bullish, but the market conditions are not ideal because we're just there like almost 10 minutes before news, right? So that's why we're not going to be taking any trades. We're going to be waiting, and once the news drops, we will have an idea, you know, what direction we want to take. And we're going to wait. We're going to wait for our setup to form, and we are going to be just, having patience. Remember, trading is all about patience. You have to wait for your trade setup to form. And once that trade setup forms, you take your trade. Okay? We have certain trade setups which will form in certain conditions, and then on this channel we'll only be taking our trade setups. We're not gonna be taking any other trade setups. We have multiple trade setups, and one of the trade setup is also our breakout trade setup, which only becomes activated when our previous day, when our current day's candle either expands above the previous day candle or distributes below the previous day candle. So right now, if we go back and we look here, we see price is ranging inside the previous day candle, right? If it breaks down below the previous day candle, then breakout trading becomes valid, just like yesterday it did. So we had price going below the previous day candle and the breakout trading became valid. So right now today, we are inside the previous day candle. So as of right now, we're expecting a ranging market, right? We're expecting a ranging market, and that's exactly what you see here in front of you. So just, by assessing the daily candle, you're able to see which direction the price is, currently trying to take. So as of right now, market is non-directional. We can see that in volume. We can see that in, we can see it on a daily candle, right? But overall, if you look from a buyer versus seller perspective right now, our buyers are dominating the market as of right now. Yeah, do let me know, guys, if you have any questions. I'm here to answer any questions you guys have. Yeah, sometimes it just requires a little bit of time to, like watching this channel. You guys are gonna see a routine that I follow every single day to ensure that any trade I take is going through a certain logical approach, and that's the aim for this channel, that I want to ensure that we make sure that we are following a logical approach which you guys can follow whenever you trade every single day, right? I haven't seen any channel doing this every single day, where we go through this regime of going through our news, whatever news there is, because that's going to decide if there is volatility in the market. We look at the forex volatility. When is the pair we are trading most volatile, and what are the different? Are there any news? Are there any? Is there any news in the market? Right? Yes, there is news. If there is news, we would see that, impact gold, or whatever, whichever asset you're trading. So it's very, very important to stay vigilant and stay, like, hyper focused when you're trading, especially during these times. So right now, guys, market is looking, from a volume perspective, buyers are dominating the market. From a bias perspective, the bias is unclear, and that actually aligns with our overall daily candle, which is which has opened inside the previous day candle. So we expect price to range, and we're just going to wait for now. So yeah, 5 minutes. We're actually 4 minutes to news, so we're just going to wait for now. Yeah, we're just going to be waiting for the news to drop, and then we will be looking for trades 15 minutes after the news, or even sometimes 30 minutes after the news, because we want price to settle down. We want volatility to kind of slow, like settle down, and that's when we would try to find good entries. Remember, some people like to trade news events, and it is very close to gambling because there's no clear strategy. The only strategy I found that has worked, I was listening to someone, is that if you use higher time frame analysis to take news events. Other than that, uh, news events are highly risky, and I advise against them. And I advise you guys to just follow a routine, and also don't trade news. Wait for news to drop, and then wait 15-20 minutes. Wait for 15 to 20 minutes uh, before taking any trade. And again, follow your plan. Like my plan today is going to be that we want to see if price doesn't either distribute below the previous day low or expand above previous day high. We are looking for a ranging market. uh, However, we might see a momentum move, which would be picked up by our trend master indicator here. So right now we're just waiting. So you guys can see that we are actually actually going down right now. Yeah, the market is waiting for the news. Let's wait for the news, guys. Its news is dropping within 1 minute. Yeah, on this channel, you guys are gonna learn things differently. The strategy is more of an approach that I've developed for my personal trading. Uh, and again, there's gonna be a routine that we're gonna have every single day before we start trading. And that routine is going to help us ensure that we take the best setups. Okay, guys, there's going to be news dropping in 30 seconds. Let's see what happens. Okay. Is news going to have an impact? Yes. Let's see. Let's see, guys. Like right now, it's not ideal to trade. We're just going to wait, not taking any trade setups under these conditions. We will see one side establishing, as you see, guys, here. Buyers are dominating the market. But again, we need 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes max to see which side of the market is eventually going to get dominated. And also, like each of our setup has a different amount of risk allocated to it. So there's um, certain types of signals will have certain setups will have you know variable risk allocated to them, like different amount of risk allocated to those risks to those setups. Right now, market is non-directional. We don't see any direction in the market, so we're not going to be taking any setups. And actually, this is where I'm going to drop that live trading is different from back testing. As you guys can see, we had multiple sell signals come up, and we have not taken a single signal because our volume is not confirming any direction for us right now. Plus, it's a news event, so we're going to be waiting for price to find its direction, and then potentially we'd be looking for a high probability opportunity. And this is where the trend master indicator does a very good job at ensuring that we don't jump into trades without your without a clear direction. So even though a lot of traders would have tried to uh, sell the market here or buy the market here or whatever, right? But we are still waiting. We are putting our like we're sitting on the sideline waiting for our trade setups to establish. Okay. So right now we're looking on like pretty much neutral in the market. Like there's no buyers versus sellers dominating. Yes, short-term buyers are dominating. However, sellers and buyers are kind of fighting each other right now uh, overall. Okay. And remember, we need volume to align, we need structure to align, and then we need to have our bias to align as well. So first of all, we need our bias, then we need our structure, and then we need our volume. All these three things work together for us to find high probability setups. Remember, why did we say high probability setups? Because within trading, nothing is guaranteed, right? Nothing is guaranteed. You guys have to you guys have to realize that there's never going to be a holy grail in this industry. What you guys can do is you can manage your risk, and you can trade, you can take your setups as they present, and then let the rest uh, be determined by game of probabilities, right? You manage your risk and then let the rest be decided through probabilities. So right now, guys, we're still waiting. We don't see any direction in the market, and there you see, right? Like we had a sell signal but we didn't take it because we knew that the market is non-dominating. Like there's no buyers, no sellers dominating. So it eventually reached a max drawdown stage for us, right? And this is where we were able to avoid a bad trade through use of trend master indicator, right? Guys, I'll be back. Give me like uh, 5 minutes. I'll be back. Yeah, as you guys can see, we are not seeing any domination by the buyers or the sellers in the market. So it's just, market is just ranging right now. We're still trading inside the previous day's range. So it's a ranging market. We just have to wait. We're seeing buyers starting to dominate. However, the structure is not aligned with the bullish price action. Remember, certain setups will become valid um, as price starts moving. And the best part about a systematic trading approach is that we can just wait for our setups to get created. And once those setups form, we can trade those setups with certainty and high probability that those setups will eventually lead to reaching our profit target for the day. So right now we're just waiting for our setups to form. Okay, so buyers have started dominating the market, and we're gonna wait for our structure to start establishing as well. Remember, there has to be structure, and then there has to be a setup that should form in our buy direction. Now, so there are a couple of things that have to get aligned before we take any trade setup. Yeah. Yeah, even though price is going down, but the buyers are dominating the market right now. And that's where, we're able to stay out of the market. until we see that alignment. We see, okay, price is going up, buyers are dominating, and our setup is also forming on the buy side. Because at the end of the day, your goal is to make money, right? And if you can wait, if you can have patience, you will find good trade opportunities in the market. And that's where, our system really shines. Like it shines because, like, no matter whatever, like, it is, like, you know, no system works well, but if it enables you to filter out bad conditions, then you have a good system in hand. Okay, we got another sell signal here, but since the buyers are dominating the market, we might not be trading this signal. Also, it's Friday today, so a lot of the times Friday is a bit manipulative. So what happens is, like, people have made gains over the week, and then they eventually end up losing their gains uh, on Fridays. So if this was a high, if the pressure was high under these circumstances, I would have taken sell. But since the market is non-directional and it's ranging inside the previous day range, this might be a low probability setup for us today. So we just have to wait for now, guys. Just have patience, and then we'll find good opportunities in the market once we see that direction in the market. And it's going to happen pretty much most likely in 20 to 30 minutes. And if we get that directional move, we will be able to take opportunities. But for now, we're just going to wait. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it just is patience is the key, that you guys just have to have patience to wait for your setups to form. And like right now, we're just waiting. Okay. Let's see what happens. We're 13 minutes into news. Yeah, I wouldn't be trading low probability setups. A lot of the times what happens is, like, we might see price drop and then bounce back up. So we're just gonna wait for now. Okay, so pressure is starting to build up, which is a good sign. Okay, yeah, that's good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not in a rush to take any trades. If a trade presents, we will take the trade. If not, then we'll just have to wait on the sideline. Yeah, this has to go above 2 for us to even look for sells. Okay, high volume candles are coming in. Okay. It's above 2, so now we're looking for sells. Yeah, this is above 2 now. So we're just waiting for, now we are waiting for our setups to form. So this is 3 now, 2.97. Yeah, so sellers are clearly dominating right now, which is consistent with the higher time frame bias as well. Yeah, we're risking targeting pretty much 1 is to 1.5 now. It's mainly because of the pressure that we're targeting. And what we are targeting is a minimum 1 is to 1.5 on the trade. Which also coincides with the previous day low. So again, it is a low probability setup that we have taken, but these setups have proven to do well under these conditions. So we're just gonna keep, pressure is increasing. So this tells me that, price is gonna continue pushing down. Also, we have smaller risk on this trade because it's a high risk trade compared to our normal trades. Since it's totally based on our volume aligning with our higher time frame bias. So higher time frame bias plus volume plus our structure is bearish as well. So it does become a high probability setup, but since it's not one of our setups that we normally take, we would be, allocating smaller risk to it. So anyone who's following in, just just keep an eye because this trade has been taken because of the pressure. As pressure is building up in the market, as sellers are dominating in the market, we're trying to trade with the sellers in the market. If this goes above 2 and becomes blue, that would be the first indication to close the trade. So yeah, like this is just going to be, this is mainly based on our volume. If the volume is good in the market, we're going to be taking trades in our direction. If let's say our high time frame bias is confirmed, our volume is confirmed, our structure is bearish, plus we have, our structure aligning with everything. So we'll be looking for a bearish trade in the market. And if this goes above 2 and then turns blue, that would be us just closing our entry earlier than, we'll be closing it earlier basically. But again, today is a rangy day. That's why we have a small profit target. We don't want to be risking a lot on the trade. And we have also risked smaller risk on this trade as well. So it's not our are like the biggest risk basically, right? So we're just gonna let the trade play out. Either it's gonna hit a stop or it's gonna hit take profit. And then the next trade is gonna be half of this risk, which is 125 instead of 250. We're just risking one contract here, and then we're targeting a minimum 1:1.5. Yeah, if this goes above 2, that would be a sign that we need to close our trade. Yeah, anyone who's watching this, we have different type of trade setups. Certain trade setups are based on structure. Other setups, they form because of our pressure here, because it's our leading indicator to tell us that you know market is driven with volume and which side that volume is dominating, right? So this indicator helps us assess that, and then based on that, this trade is mainly based on our trend master indicator. And that's why we've given it a lot of room to breathe as well, because it's a low it's not one of our regular setups, but it is a setup that follows the overall direction of the market, and through our strategy it gives us opportunity to enter such setups. Yeah, normally these trades, if they play out, they give you a minimum 1:3. So if we look at that and go all the way down, it should still give us 1:3. But let's see, like nothing is guaranteed in trading, right? So we took our setup based on our approach, based on our setup, our indicator, uh, and volume, the overall direction of the market. Uh, it either plays out in our favor or it just you know reverses, because market is ranging today. There's no clear direction in the market. However, volume is starting to dominate on the sell side, so that's why we have taken the sell. But if this goes above 2, that would be the first indication for us to get out of the trade. We don't want to be sitting in a losing trade if this pressure starts to push above, if it's blue and pushes above 2. Right now, we're just waiting. It's a waiting game, guys. Yeah, yesterday we had a winning trade. Uh, it was mainly based on our regular setups that we see in the market. Today, this is mainly based on volume and how the volume is performing in the market. Uh, and we do see sellers are dominating right now in the market, and that's why we have taken this side. Overall direction is bearish. Overall bias is bearish on higher time frame. So that's why we have taken the direction. Like we have taken the sell signal. We have taken sell trade based on that information. Okay, so this pressure is starting to come down, guys. It's at 4 right now. If it goes at 2, we will be closing our trade. Like I don't want to be holding a losing trade. Like in trading, nothing is guaranteed. So even if you take a trade, everything looks perfect, everything looks really well, the trade might not pan out as you expected. So just make sure that you have your stop always, all the time. And one thing that I've changed about my trading is I'm not looking for bigger risk reward ratios. I'm only looking for 1:1.5, and that should be enough for you to make you profitable. Okay, so we are seeing at 3.36. 3.33. And the best part is like these live streams are enabling us to see, okay, if something, okay, we took a volume based entry today. Did the volume based entry eventually work? Did it work? If it worked, we will continue following this approach going forward. And if it didn't work, we just stop it right here and then, right? I have seen it historically working. That's why I've taken it. And it has helped me, secure massive gains. Uh, but it just totally depends on the market and the day itself, right? Also, 30-minute candle is about to close in 3 minutes. That will give us an indication as to which side the market wants to go. It is looking to test these lows right here, which is kind of aligning with our profit target as well. So it's pretty good so far. Let's see. Let's see. I'm not predicting anything. I'm just taking setup based on my strategy. Okay, let's see what happens. I'm not in a rush. Okay, pressure is coming down. Yeah, overall, right now the market is, looking to sell so far, but we'll have to see on the 30-minute close how the candle, how the market changes at the 30-minute close. But right now, sellers are dominating the market. Sellers are dominating the market going into 30-minute close. Okay, we're still dominating. The sellers are still dominating. 30-minute candle is about to close, guys. Let's see what happens. Buyers try to step in short term. Sellers are still dominating on the overall. Let's see. Yeah, sellers are still dominating. Do we have any news coming out? Okay, so that is an update on the news side that he's not focused on getting right now Iranian uranium. I think Iranian is damaged. Okay, so that is a news. When did it come out? It came out okay a couple of minutes back. Okay, so let's see. We're still seeing sellers dominating the market. Okay. Okay, if this goes below 2, we're just going to close the trade. I'm not going to hold. Because the market is non-directional. If the market becomes non-directional and let's say this goes above 2, I'll just close the trade, take a small loss, and call it a day. Okay? Okay, 3.2, 3.18. Just telling us something. Buyers are dominating, starting to dominate. Overall, sellers are still in control. But a flip from bearish to bullish is going to be actually bullish. So we just have to wait to see if that flip happens or this is just, price just ranging at this level. Yeah, pressure is going to be the key component that we use to close trades early. The issue right now is that oil is going up, so dollar is going up, because of which gold is coming down. Pressure is starting to go up again. Yeah, pressure is building up. But yeah, it's a low probability day today because the conditions are not ideal uh, for high probability setups today. Yeah, right now we're just keeping an eye on this number here, pressure. We want this to stay above 2. As long as this stays above 2, we are sitting inside the, like we're continuing to stay inside the trade. You're only targeting a minimum 1 is to 1.5. So whatever we're risking here, we're just making 1.5 of that. So we're still at 4.32. Yeah, the market, as you guys can see, it's snapping back. Like it's just ranging at in this tight range, right? So that is the first sign that we did a good job in reducing our risk, so we don't have to worry about trade going against us, because we have reduced our risk when we took this trade setup. So that's a lesson for you guys too. When it's when prices when it's hard to determine through clear direction which way the price might be heading, and you're utilizing let's say your trend master indicator to take the trade, it's better to potentially reduce your risk by half when taking those trades. Yeah, pressure is looking good so far, which is keeping us inside the trade. But if it starts to go up, then potentially we might have to just exit. So right now pressure is at 4.97. As long as it keeps on increasing, we should see price pushing down. Remember, the pressure needs to continue pushing up for us to know that the momentum is to the downside if it's pink. In this case, it's pink. Pressure is pushing to the downside. All we are doing is we're just waiting. And you guys can see that the volume has given us an early entry because the regime here is mixed, the noise is choppy. So we entered into the market knowing that these two are mixed. However, the volume became our leading indicator to get into a trade. Okay, we're seeing high volume candles started to form. So this is a good sign. As you guys can see, pressure is building up on this position. So as long as this stays above 2, we are inside the position. Yeah, so pressure is building up, guys. Pressure is at 10 right now. Remember, we used our leading indicator to take this trade. We took this trade based on our trend master indicator, which told us based on the volume that we were able to, enter trade in the direction of the volume prior to us getting any setup. Like we got a setup, which was a sell signal. However, it came prior to us getting dominated on one side, like prior to the buyer sellers starting to dominate. So once the sellers started to dominate, we took a trade, we took our trade with the sellers, and we're just waiting for our profit target to hit, or price reverses and takes us out. Nothing is guaranteed in trading, guys. Nothing is guaranteed. I'm going to repeat that again and again, because if someone tells you that they guarantee you that their setup will work, uh, it's false. That's a lie. So just make sure that you guys are, you know, always using probabilistic mindset, because no matter whatever trade setup you're taking, sometimes it will work, sometimes it won't work. So just be mindful whenever you take these trade setups. We decided to take a smaller risk on this position because number one, this was based on uh, overall volume. However, we did not have any clear setup forming. So we took it based on our trend master indicator, which is our leading indicator, and it's going to help us a lot of the times entering into such trades where volume is clearly dominating on one side. But remember, it's the exact same strategy. It's the whole strategy is the exact same thing. Like we're not changing anything. We're just using the exact same strategy we trade with every single day. They're just different types of setups within this strategy. And with the band, you guys can actually we can actually trail our stop loss, right? Like we can trail our stop loss. Now, uh, the risk on this trade is pretty much this much, right? Like we're not gonna move our stop, but if let's say comes close to this level, we potentially will just close our trade. So this is like a shadow stop, and this is the real stop to keep market away from our stops. Yeah, we're only risking, like we're only, our risk to reward ratio is 1 is to, like our risk to reward ratio is 1.5R basically. We're not risking a lot, like we're not risking a lot on this particular setup because it was based on our leading indicator, um, which was the trend master. A couple of things were going for this setup. However, we decided for the live stream, we're not going to be taking huge amount of risk. We're just going to risk, you know, half the normal size of risk we take on trades. And so far, we are in profit. But remember, as I mentioned, anything can happen. It can reverse on us. So right now, the trade is on at break even. So if let's say it reverses, we'll just close it at break even. Because if you guys want to see this, right? The band is now here, which tells us we're almost at break even. So this strategy is not only a strategy, it's a whole trading system in one place where you have your trailing stop and you also have your take profit, your stop loss, Your stop loss is always going to be above the band. Your take profit is going to be 1.5R, and your trailing stop is going to be above the band in case of sells and below the band in case of buys. So this trade that opened here closed here. However, since we were not in favor of taking a trade where we don't have a clear direction already, we decided to stay away from this trade. But our leading indicator, you helped us get into a trade based on our strategy. Okay. Yeah, this is a good candle, guys. So if pressure keeps on increasing, we can hold it, but our TP is pretty much about to hit. Let's wait. Okay. It's looking good. Nice. Let's go. High volume candles are in. Close position. And there you go. So guys, today's trade was a good trade. We were able to secure in some profits. We were able to take our setup based on our trading opportunity here that was presented in the market. We used our leading indicator here, which was our trend master indicator. Price eventually did give us an opportunity to take a trade setup, and we were able to make some profits today. So we are actually in the green today. We're in the green, and we took, it was a low risk trade because number one, it was Friday, and number two, we took this trade after our signal got printed, right? So after the signal got printed, that's when we took this trade, and that's why we decided to lower our risk. So guys, we are actually going to be trading for another 30 minutes. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and then we can take those up. But yeah, overall price was looking bearish. A bias overall higher time frame was bearish. Price structure on the higher time frame was bearish, and then eventually, once our volume aligned with the overall structure, we were able to enter the price in that flow, and then eventually we took our trade setup, right? We waited for the news to pass. Once the news passed, we took our trade setup based on our pressure, based on our volume, number of buyers, number of sellers, knowing that sellers are dominating in the market. We took this trade setup, and eventually the trade setup did work out in our favor. It doesn't mean that it will work out all the time, but today, based on the probabilities, it worked out in our favor. So I'm just gonna quickly make a note of this trade opportunity that we took today. That was a very, very good drop. This is price going below the previous day low. And it's mainly because of oil pushing up. But yeah, this trade setup is mainly for, mainly based on our leading indicator here, which was this indicator right here, the trend master indicator. It's really important to actually make a note of this video, which is 3/13/2026. So we took this trade on March 2026, and I want to keep an eye on the red days going forward, the red news days going forward, to see how our trend master indicator performs on the red news days. Okay, guys. So this was a good trade today for us. We were able to take a trade setup that eventually, led to uh, hitting our profit target for the day. So, and this is where you guys can see like how a systematic approach can actually still make you a profitable trader. Yeah, price is extremely bearish. Yes, buyers have started to jump in. As you can see, we are seeing price starting to pump. But remember, as a trader, you only want to be able to capture a small portion of the move. If you're successful at capturing small portion of the move, you are a successful trader. And today we were able to capture a small portion of the move. But remember, as a trader, you only want to be able. So yeah, today's day has been a good day, guys. Again, we had a profitable day today as well. We had a nice profitable day yesterday. We shorted the market yesterday. We shorted the market again today, but but a twist was that we had news today. We had a news event today, and that helped us. Number one, initially we stayed out of bad trades, and then later on we were able to find a good trade setup, which eventually did hit our profit target for the day. Yeah, with this strategy, it's just a plug and play system. You don't really have to worry about, taking trades, uh, trying to find trades, because what's going to happen is with Bullion Bullz trading system, it gives you that direction which you need to find, which will enable you to find these trades easily and stay out of bad market conditions. We stayed out of bad market conditions. We did not enter bad market. We did not enter trades in choppy conditions. And then eventually, when market did turn, we actually did take the trade. We were still uh, aware that the price can go against us throughout that trade. Our band was actually trailing our stop, right? The band was actually trailing the stop as it was going down. This is another practice we can do going forward, right? Like as the band is pushing down, it's already trailing our stop. Normally, I would use it as a shadow stop for, for the purpose of ensuring that, we're able to hold our trade. But maybe going forward, we can potentially look at holding the trade on such days as the volume is picking up, and then our stop can be trailing with the band. But yeah, today's setup was good. Like last time I took this setup, this was for actually a bullish trade. Price structure was very evident. It was easy to predict. Whereas today the price structure was bearish. However, we had that news event, which was potentially going to create, which can potentially create uncertainty. Plus, it's Friday, so a couple of things were there which made us, number one, reduce our risk for the week, reduce our risk for the day, and eventually take trade setup when all the confirmations were aligned together, right? So overall, uh, today's trade was a good day. We took one trade, and eventually it did hit our profit target. Yeah, we're going to be streaming for another 28 minutes and then we'll call it a day. Yeah, it's been a good day so far. Um we were able to, you know, and then one thing we need to note, guys, we need to note one thing. So our bias, higher time frame bias was bearish, right? Our 15-minute was bullish, 5-minute was bullish when we took this trade, and 1 minute was was bullish or bearish. I think it was bearish. It was bearish. So when we took this trade, right? Now, okay, another thing that has happened now is that with the break of the low, our breakout trading has become valid. Okay? So it has broken the previous day low. We can start to look for trades where we will be able to see, continuation to the downside if that happens, right? So we are looking for now breakout style trading, which would be potentially, price revisiting. So if price breaks this low, creates a high and then creates a low, we know that, price is starting to trend downwards, and we can potentially look for taking those trade setups. For now, we're just going to wait. We're not in a rush to take any trades. Uh, but yeah, overall, we were able to, make $300 today. Um, just want to quickly check something, guys. Give me a minute. Yeah. Credentials. Okay. Just want to make sure something, guys. Give me a minute. Yeah. So we were able to take a good trade today. As of right now, breakout style trading has become valid. So anyone who's looking to trade, potentially as of now, you should be looking into trading breakout style trading. So for the next 30 minutes, maybe we'll look for breakout style trading. But if price reverses and goes back inside the range, then it just just means that price picked up the orders that were sitting right at the previous day low, and now price is going to reverse and push back up. I'm just going to keep an eye on the news and see if there's any news. Yeah, overall, we are still, there's no news, so we are still pretty much following our bias for the day, which is bearish. But if price reverses, um, then market just lost momentum, right? So you can see the pressure has gone up, telling me that we potentially might be just reversing. But we just have to keep an eye on this number here. If it goes above 2 uh, and it's blue, then price has reversed. Buyers have started to dominate. We can already see buyers starting to dominate. Like short-term buyers have started to dominate, uh, and right now sellers are losing control. Like anyone who has trouble, you know, over trading, uh, Bullion Bullz Trend Master indicator can help to ensure that you only enter when you know conditions are ideal. And today you saw it on live stream that we took this trade and we took it because we had volume dominating on the sell side. And remember, volume is a leading indicator, and it gives you early entry into trades, or entry into trades when price is really is moving in a directional manner. Yeah, we're going to be streaming for another 20 minutes and then we'll call it a day. As you guys can see, buyers have started to step in. We already went above the previous day low. So price broke out of the previous day range and now went back inside the previous day range. So it broke out of the previous day range, went inside the previous day range. Pressure is starting to push up. If this goes above 2, then buyers have pretty much taken control, and we should see price pushing to the upside since price is actually staying within the previous day range. As of now, breakout style trading is invalid, so don't take any breakout trades. Yeah, guys, I'm back. So as you guys can see, as soon as price reversed, we went back inside the range, and sellers lost control. Sellers have lost control. Price is starting to push to the buy side, and as of right now, we're just going to be waiting, not taking any trades. Also, our trade window is going to be over soon by 11:30. So yeah, and another thing I want to tell you guys, don't trade past 11:30 because there's not a lot of volume in the market. Bots pretty much start trading, and they are hunting for liquidity. So you don't want to be trading during those hours. You want to be only trading the first 2.5 hours, the first 2 hours of the day, and then just calling it a day. Don't go beyond that because the trades are going to be low probability. You're not going to find good setups, and a lot of the times it's gonna hit your stops. So might as well just just sit on the sidelines, or end your trading day, end the trading week for now. Come back on Monday, and then we'll go through it. So yeah, we'll be closing, guys, in 15 minutes. Yeah, 15 minutes is it's 15 minutes to the high volume hours. You also don't go for like high risk reward ratios. Try to go for 1 is to 1.5. I think 1 is to 1.5 is ideal, or 1 to 1. Like, these risk reward ratios are actually optimal for you reaching, you know, your price, your payouts, your targets, because higher risk reward ratios potentially lead to unrealistic expectations. And I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of that, and that's why I've modified my approach to only take setups with 1 is to 1.5 risk reward ratio. So as you guys can see, buyers have started to dominate, sellers have lost control, and we're almost coming towards the end of our session. So as you can see, market is non-directional right now. There's no clear direction in the market, and it's keeping us out of bad trades. So yeah, as you guys can see, market is non-directional, and our trend master, Bullion Bullz trend master indicator, is actually keeping us away from uh, bad market conditions. Yeah, guys, market is not going anywhere. It's just kind of sitting there. And that's why, a lot of people might be getting chopped out right now. They might be, trying to overtrade. And we are just sitting on the sideline. We're just waiting for our setups to form. We're waiting for volume to give us confirmation. We're waiting for a bias to align. And once everything, aligns together, there's confluence across the board, then we would enter our trade using our approach. Yeah. So for right now, we are just going to be waiting on the sideline. 5 minutes to end our live stream for today. Let me know if you guys have any questions, or um, or share how you guys trade. Like, do you follow discretionary approach? Do you're just starting to learn trading, or how long have you guys been in trading? If you guys are watching this after, you can comment below, or if you guys are watching right now, you can put it in the chat. sellers are starting to step back in. However, right now pressure is not 2 yet, like it's below 2. So we gotta wait for it to be above 2. So let's wait for now. Yeah, it seems like market has just, you know, either the trend has pushed to the upside, which cannot be confirmed yet, because sellers are starting to step back in. However, for now, we don't see any clear direction in the market. Yeah, so we're just gonna wait, guys. And yeah, there's not a lot going on right now in the market, and also our day is coming to an end as well. But yeah, thanks a lot for joining the live stream today. I'll see you guys on Monday, and again we'll have several trade setups. We have several trade setups as part of our strategy, and every setup gets triggered for a reason, and it's the exact same strategy. And we have an idea about like when a certain trade setup gets triggered and why it gets triggered, and that's why we're gonna be you know taking these trade setups in front of you guys live on stream. Sometimes our trade setups will work, sometimes they won't, but that's how trading is. Trading is basically a game of probabilities, and you just following your plan. Okay, guys, see you guys on Monday, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy your weekend, okay? See you guys on Monday.